two guys, the biggest puncher, I feel, at the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis.
Attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain?
Well, it's really all about skills.
Tank can do the same thing the mentor did. That's what the mentors, they teach you how to do this thing.
Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather has been left in disbelief after witnessing Gervonta Tank Davis's shocking transformation ahead of his explosive clash with Jake Paul. Known for his compact power and lightning-fast reflexes, Tank now looks like a sculpted powerhouse. Bigger, meaner, and more dangerous than ever. Mayweather, once his mentor, couldn't hide his astonishment, admitting that this kind of physical evolution could either turn Tank into an unstoppable monster or slow him down at the worst possible time. The boxing world holds its breath, because his version of Davis might just be something we've never seen before.
You see who it is? Yeah. Who is the dude? Who is the dude?
That right there is why Gervonta Davis fights don't go the distance.
And that right there is exactly why Gervonta Davis's fights rarely go the distance. The Baltimore knockout artist is stepping into the ring with YouTube sensation Jake Paul in a November 14th Miami spectacle that no one saw coming. On paper, the weight difference is massive. Jake tipping the scales near 195 pounds, while Tank hovers around the lightweight division. But for Davis, numbers have never mattered. He's built for violence, precision, and explosive chaos. A smaller man with a punch that erases size itself.
I was training for something like this. Obviously, smaller guy. How was this in the training aspect, Jake?
Yeah, just a lot of punching down, practicing, hitting below my knees, and a lot of speed. We're sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some 8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your and I'm gonna beat Jaden on Love It. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. You know, he laughing.
What are you talking about?
What
does he have to do with this?
That anything. You know what I'm talking about. That anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't gotta say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'm gonna show you and him.
Despite the flashy build-up in social media theatrics, those who've seen Tank train know one thing. He's locked in. Inside the gym, his focus is surgical. His movements are sharp, deliberate, hungry. For Gervonta Davis, this isn't a circus. It's a statement. Beating Jake Paul isn't just about pride. It's about power, legacy, and proving that real fighters can dominate any stage. Critics call it a spectacle. Tank calls it business. And he intends to own the show.
And you can tell, you can just look at him and tell, like, no, this dude he's gonna get this money for sure, because there's so much money out there to be had. But Jake Paul better be not playing around, man. Not get cute, not play any games, don't hit him in the back of the head, don't rabbit punch him, don't do any of that stuff, man, because Mike Tyson, first of all, Mike Tyson, a lot of people think Mike Tyson was pulling punches on Jake Paul, and a lot of people think that Anderson Silva was pulling punches on him too. You're not going to have a little Gervonta out there pulling punches on you, man, if you're out there playing games. So, you know, I don't like the fight at all. However, as far as it being an entertaining situation, I almost guarantee you that fight itself is going to be entertaining. That it's going to be something that you look at and you're going to say, man, everybody's going to watch it. Everybody's going to want to know what happens in it. But at the same time, it's kind of like what people think, you know, when you see a car crash. Like, you're driving down the road and all of a sudden the traffic gets heavy and you're like, man, I'm going to be in traffic for a long time. And then you drive forward a little bit and then you see, oh man, this is some accident on the other side of the road and everybody just slowing down to watch. That's the type of entertainment that you can expect from this fight between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. There's going to be a lot of people watching it, but I gotta say, man, you really can't blame the guy on what he's doing. And there's a lot of criticism flying on Gervonta Davis. It's not Gervonta Davis's fault that boxing took this turn. This turn of these exhibition fights and people not caring about the belts and all of that stuff came.
Mayweather has long said it. Davis isn't just a puncher, he's a tactician wrapped in TNT. Floyd has praised him as one of the hardest hitters pound for pound, but he's also warned raw power alone is never enough. To truly reign, you need defense, timing, and intelligence, the kind that separates brawlers from legends. And when Floyd Mayweather himself says Tank belongs among the pound-for-pound elite, the boxing world listens.
Wanui deserved to be in the pound for pound. Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserved to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Tank Davis? He deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated.
Floyd Mayweather once built Gervonta Davis into a global star, guiding him through the chaos of fame and fortune. But behind the glitter, cracks began to form. Tank accused Floyd of control, of keeping him boxed in, of never letting the student surpass the master. What was once a bond of mentorship turned into a cold rivalry of pride and power. To Tank, Mayweather's greatness came with a shadow, one he refuses to live under any longer.
You black, giving back. So I was working with, I got a fighter, one of the best fighters out there today, Gervonta Tank Davis. I got it when he was young. I put him in a position. Now he's 3-time world champion.
According to Davis, Mayweather's ego has always stood taller than his humility. Every compliment came with a reminder of who the greatest was supposed to be. Floyd's obsession with his own legacy, his endless self-proclamations as the best ever, became the very cage Tank needed to escape. The young lion decided it was time to write his own story, one punch at a time.
Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the say Terrence Crawford should fight? It's gonna be that. That don't make no fucking sense. You don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you. You don't know.
Is there like
The last question is
a love-hate like
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest, but he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. Cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
Bernard Hopkins didn't hold back. To him, Gervonta Davis wasn't struggling with talent. He was struggling with control. Hopkins claimed Floyd Mayweather's grip was less mentorship and more domination, limiting Tank's rise to protect his own spotlight. In Hopkins' eyes, Davis had to break free to truly breathe, to fight not just for victory, but for freedom.
We're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating this? What are we rating this?
Okay,
in the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights,
Yes, you did.
who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were
So it's basically saying that.
the greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Just a guy with a job. I have a job though. So who would you fight next?
And guess what? Your job don't pay like my job.
Well, it depends.
Your job don't pay like my job.
That brings me to another point.
I can
I
pay Jordan in at 18 months because I want to come back and steal some more money. I'm in a whole new era. Dominating
That's right.
fighters.
And he's a whole new fighter, Floyd.
A whole new fighter.
Oh yeah.
And when I beat him, what they gonna say? Oh, well, we knew this was gonna happen. Floyd Mayweather was a bigger fighter, or he can outbox him, or this. It's always excuse.
Roy Jones Jr. sees it differently. To him, Tank's fight with Jake Paul isn't a sellout. It's strategy. It's a smart, money-making move, echoing the same path Mayweather once paved. Roy respects the hustle. He knows the game's changed. Fighters today chase both legacy and the bag. And if Tank can pull in $100 million without risking it all, then maybe he's just evolving with the times.
Tank on saying, hey, this is my career. You had yours. I respect you from buy me a chain, buy me this, buy me that, take me on a jet. All that's sweet. But at the end of the day, I'm only going by his interview. You seen it and I seen it. Thank you, Floyd Mayweather, for all the things you gave me. If the intentions was you're just looking out for me. But I got an opportunity to fight this big fight. And this soap opera between you and Oscar for all these years, I'm not going to let it affect me. That's my interpretation. And Tank wants to do the fight, but he had to break away from the chains of somebody he still respects and respected then. And he said, man, I got to do what I got to do. This is my...
Trainer Greg Hackett has had enough of the backlash. He says fans forget that fighters are human, that every decision, every punch, every paycheck comes with pressure the crowd will never understand. If Tank wants to fight Jake Paul, let him. Hackett reminds us, it's easy to criticize from behind a screen, but inside the ropes, it's blood, sweat, and survival.
Do the same thing the mentor did. That's what the mentor is for, to teach you how to do this thing the smart way and not get you hurt, not have to take no risks, not to take many chances. Everybody had their own mentors, their own pound for pounds, their own people they want to be like. If he want to be like that guy that y'all say is great and was one of the best ever, why can't he do it? If he make 50 to 100 million fighting Jake Paul, they'll be cool with it because they cool with you making money. That's what the fan bases are on now. They happy with you just making money being good. Back in our day, they won't be cool with that. You had to prove you was the best. They thought you fought because you wanted to be the best of the division or the best of your era. I want to be the best in my division. As a matter of fact, I want to be the best around my division. Not just in my division, even around my division. I want to be the best. Today's fighters, they have been taught that that's not going to do it nowadays. Nowadays, go for the bag. Everybody is going for the bag.
Former champion Paulie Malignaggi isn't impressed. To him, these influencer matchups erode the soul of boxing, turning art into entertainment. He argues that real knockouts mean something only when they come against real fighters. Paulie fears this trend is tricking casual fans into forgetting what true boxing excellence looks like. A craft built on discipline, not hype.
I mean, backlash is just what people do nowadays. That's just, you give somebody a keyboard, you give them a phone, and they able to hide their face, yeah, they gonna have to feel that. Backlash, I get, I understand. Would you say number 2, not fighting Shakur?
Yeah, he's saying he'll never fight Shakur. That he ain't gonna do him no favors. That he ain't gonna help him make no money because Shakur broke or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't get all that. That's, you know what I mean, that's against the game. You know what I mean? You at least owe that fight for the game. You know what I mean? You owe the rematch to Lamont for the game. But you owe Shakur for the game just because of the 2 style matchups. You know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't gotta fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it. But it is kind of crazy. That is kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? If he not gonna fight Shakur, and if he's standing on it like, I'm not ever gonna fight you, I'm not doing you any favors. Alright. But then again, you know what? I don't know what them guys got going on. I don't know what they've been through personally. You know what I'm saying? But would I love to see that fight? Hell yeah, I would love to see that. And then number 3, you said what? You said
retirement.
Retirement? Oh. Boxing, they're around. They're around. There's always gloves around. It's on you. It's on you. I'm chilling, you alright? Yeah, get with me, I know. How you feel? Darshan boy, that's my man. The retirement is like he done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot. This whole experience is a lot. The shit these fighters go through is hard to explain. It's hard to explain because people, they can't see it, so they can't understand it. But it's stressful to the fighters because they coming from just getting ready to fight in the amateurs, being prepared, going out there, win, get it done, celebrate, all right, we back to the next camp. To now, marketing, talking about marketing, you're talking about lawyers, you're talking about all this shit that you just never imagined. You're like, why do I have to deal with it?
Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult had his doubts until he saw Tank in person. The way Davis carried himself at the press conference changed everything. He didn't look nervous. He looked dangerous, calm, confident, like a man who already knew how the story would end. Showbiz realized maybe Jake Paul's size won't matter when Tank starts landing with surgical precision. This isn't mismatch. It's a trap waiting to be
Paulie, knockouts, dude. Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture.
You can't manufacture.
To a degree, you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists, though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist,
champion.
If he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. The way Wade did what Felix Trinidad was doing. You know, the way they did when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was to a degree manufactured.
No, because he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time.
Teddy Atlas will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of
he would say the guys that were afraid of him.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract issues.
The same thing about
who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you gonna fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. If it wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone.
Eddie Hearn, ever the promoter, called it what it is, a business move. Facing Jake Paul means money, not risk. Hearn argues that if Tank truly wanted to test his limits, he'd chase Shakur Stevenson or a Lamont Roach rematch. But he understands the game. Spectacle sells. Still, he insists, when it comes to pure skill, Stevenson might just be the one man who could outthink the Tank.
Listen, I was feeling that Jake Paul was going to knock out Tank. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. I'm no cap. I know Tank wasn't saying much, fumbling over his words, seems bashful, but I'm looking, right? And I'm just like, bro, he doesn't feel that Jake Paul is an issue. Even though he said it, he doesn't feel like he has to whoop his ass. He doesn't feel threatened. That's the word. He doesn't feel threatened. But he does feel out of his element. I'm gonna be honest, man. It sounds like, I know everybody's looking at this press conference and it's like, number one, I know what y'all saying. It's a clown show. It's not real. Tank was paid off. It's fake. Because Tank, when he was talking about Jake and JB, even I was like, what is he talking about? He laughed.
What are you talking about? What does he have to do with this?
Let anything, you know what I'm talking about. Let anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything.
Former world champion Timothy Bradley sees things differently. To him, this is easy money. A mismatch. Bradley believes Tank's experience and precision will dismantle Jake Paul before the first sweat hits the canvas. He warns, though, overconfidence kills. Jake may not have the skills, but underestimating him could cost dearly. Still, Bradley's conviction is clear. This is going to look like a man schooling a boy.
Thanks, promoter. What would the next step be?
I heard they were going to fight Jake Paul. When I see Jake Paul at the event and I see Jake Paul posting from the private jet with a picture of Gervonta.
Yeah,
but I had that for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You had to buy it, you had to get it made.
Yeah, but I can't believe that fight was going to happen. But anyway, crazy stuff's happening. Yeah, you got a rematch Lamont Roach. You got to. It'll probably get ordered. That's the reality by the New York State Athletic Commission. But listen, they may have got lucky because the only fight for Tank outside of after Lamont Roach was Shakur Stevenson.
Facts.
Right now they've got another opponent that will do well at the gate because of the controversy.
Yep.
And it ain't Shakur Stevenson. I keep telling people Shakur Stevenson beats Tank. You cannot say that Shakur Stevenson would not have beaten Tank last Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Say that it ain't fixed because check this out. Tank ain't gonna lose this fight. Hell no. Tank ain't losing this fight. Too many holes. Man, Jake don't have enough experience. Yeah, man, it's gonna be taking candy from a baby. You know, Jake is missing the rules. See, this is what happens when you don't grow up in the game. When you don't grow up in the game, man, at a young age, this is what happens. You know, you start reading your own press clippings. That's what Jake is doing. You know, fighting this lower level competition. And now he think he the ish. Now he think he the man. He ain't the man. You kidding me? He is not the man. Oh no. Yeah. False sense of security. Now he trying to pick on small folks, right? You know, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Yeah, I'm just saying size-wise. Yeah, that's another thing, boxing one-on-one.
Boxing has changed, maybe forever. Fame now hits harder than any left hook, and fighters must battle both opponents and public perception. As the world waits for Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul, one question echoes louder than any bell. Is this the evolution of boxing or the end of its purity? Either way, one thing's certain. Everyone will be watching when the lights go down and the fists start flying.